Moxie Marlinspike, renowned cypherpunk and privacy activist and CEO of encrypted messaging app Signal, just announced his resignation from the company. This was huge news that caught much of the privacy space off guard. Signal is considered to be one of the most private messaging apps in the world. It's recommended by Snowden and top security experts. You can learn the details of why by checking out our video about the most private messaging apps. But essentially, the app was designed to collect as little data about the user as possible, and messages can only be read by the sender and the recipient, not by law enforcement, not even by Signal itself. But code is not static. It requires maintenance, and apps need to evolve as new technology emerges. While Signal is open source, using the platform is a vote of confidence that the team will maintain and build the app to the same high standards in the future. Moxie earned that confidence from the community by spending his entire career proving his staunch principles and fearlessly standing up for privacy in the face of some of the world's most powerful opponents. Moxie and Signal have become somewhat inseparable in people's minds over the years. Now that Moxie is leaving, what does this mean for the messaging app? Can the community have the same confidence in them that they had previously? In this video, we'll dive into the history of Signal and reveal some surprising facts about the team members who will be carrying the torch forward. Diving into that history, let's start with Moxie's work. He's a veritable legend in the privacy space. As far back as 2011, journalist Andy Greenberg already noted that Moxie was responsible for some of the most noteworthy inventions in applied cryptography in recent history. Moxie's company, Whisper Systems, created free phone and text encryption in the Red Phone and text-secure apps that helped keep dissidents in Egypt safe during the revolution. Then, Whisper Systems was acquired by Twitter in 2011, and for a while, Moxie led Twitter's security team. During this time, he worked on various privacy projects, including one that would have encrypted Twitter's direct messages so that they would be unreadable by anyone but the sender and the recipient. You can bet that that feature wasn't allowed to go through. In 2014, Moxie left Twitter to found Open Whisper Systems, which was a continuation of his previous work developing private communications platforms, but this time via a collaborative open source project. Open Whisper Systems developed the second version of their text-secure protocol, which provided end-to-end encryption for voice calls and instant messages. And this then became the Signal protocol. The text-secure app, where this cryptographic protocol was first released, later became the Signal app. OG cryptographer and legend Matthew Green, a creator of the Zero Cash and Zero Coin protocols, recalled being overwhelmingly impressed the first time that he audited Moxie's code. Green once remarked of the Signal protocol, "The entire world is making this the standard for encrypted messaging." It's true, many closed source apps also use the protocol. Facebook Messenger in their secret conversations, Skype for private conversations, and WhatsApp by default in all their messages, which encrypts the conversations of more than 1 billion people worldwide. Through this encryption technology, Moxie has enabled the largest end-to-end encrypted communications network in history. Moxie views encryption as a preventative measure against a slide towards an Orwellian society that makes protest and civil disobedience impossible. He says that civil disobedience pushes social progress forward. In a dystopian reality where law enforcement were 100% effective and any potential offender were immediately apprehended, how could people have decided that marijuana should be legal if no one had ever used it, for example? How could states decide that same-sex marriage should be permitted? Moxie has dedicated his life's work to ensuring that people could carve out a private space in the digital world. So what's his plan now? Well, on January 10, he said, "It's a new year and I've decided it's a good time to replace myself as the CEO of Signal." To many people, this announcement was abrupt, especially considering that he was leaving without having first found a replacement CEO. But the truth is that Moxie has actually been searching for candidates for a while, and the announcement comes because he wants to open up that search to the wider public. In his blog post, he dived into what the early days of Signal were like. He said that as recently as 4 years ago, he was writing all the Android code, all of the server code, as well as managing everyone and doing everything else related to product development. He describes a life where he couldn't couldn't ever leave cell service. He had to take his laptop with him everywhere in case of emergencies, and he occasionally found himself sitting alone on the sidewalk in the rain late at night trying to diagnose a service degradation. It's no surprise that he wants to take a break. Obviously, Signal has come a long way since then. It now has a team of 30 people committed to the core ideals of privacy. And Brian Acton will be taking over as interim CEO while they find a permanent replacement. But who is Brian Acton? And will he have the same trust with the community that Moxie had? Actually, Acton is an absolute legend in his own right. Acton was the co-founder of WhatsApp and very well known for being very privacy-focused whilst running WhatsApp. For example, they famously didn't keep logs of user conversations or collect GPS location. And as mentioned, when Acton was at the helm of WhatsApp, they turned on end-to-end encryption for 1 billion people. It can't be overstated what an incredible advancement for privacy this was. But then in 2014, WhatsApp was sold to Facebook. Whilst they assured the public that the values of WhatsApp would stay the same after the Facebook partnership, Acton became increasingly unhappy with the direction that the app was moving in regarding privacy. In 2017, he left. Here's where it gets really interesting. Acton had $850 million in unvested options that were due to vest just a few months later. Acton was so unhappy at Facebook that he couldn't even wait another few months. He voluntarily left that $850 million on the table so that he could leave the company as soon as possible. And then came the boss move. Acton took $50 million of the money he did receive from Facebook and started funding the private messaging competitor Signal. With those $50 million, he and Moxie co-founded the Signal Foundation in a big FU to WhatsApp and a big thumbs up to privacy. Acton has sat on the Signal board ever since, and he will be taking the helm in Moxie's absence until a permanent CEO can be found. So, to the question of whether Signal is in good hands right now, we can probably give a resounding yes. Brian Acton is all kinds of awesome. And so is Signal, as confirmed in a recently leaked FBI document that compared how much data can lawfully be collected from various private messaging apps. WhatsApp fared one of the worst of the so-called privacy apps due to a heap of metadata that's still collected, and Signal came out on top. This is a good time to mention that according to that leaked document, Telegram also seems to do well, but the document is completely misleading in this regard. It's not possible to end-to-end encrypt group chats on Telegram, and Telegram isn't even end-to-end encrypted for private messages by default. If you want end-to-end encryption, you have to specifically select secret chat. Most people don't even know that this feature exists, so their messages are all stored in plain text. Even when this end-to-end encryption is enabled, Telegram uses a home-baked encryption protocol, MT-Proto. This move has been criticized by experts because not going with a tried and true cryptographic standard means that there could be security holes that haven't been discovered yet. So Telegram isn't an app that this channel would recommend for the best privacy. There's actually a lot of confusion in the cryptography field about why Telegram is held up as a private messaging app in the first place. Moxie himself hypothesized that when Telegram first came out with its strange home-baked encryption standard, that all the security experts were so busy talking about that nobody mentioned that it's all plain text by default. We'll keep mentioning it here though, and remind people that Signal is one of the most highly regarded options for private digital communications. So, if you're concerned about the news of Moxie's departure, you shouldn't be. Signal remains in incredibly high caliber hands with an awesome team, and it's all open source. I've even heard that the ability to shield your phone number from others is a new feature soon to be rolled out, as is the ability to create accounts rather than associate a phone number. On top of that, Signal has now integrated private crypto payments worldwide inside the app using MobileCoin. Like the messaging app itself, MobileCoin aims to minimize the amount of data that Signal or MobileCoin can collect about payments, whilst making it a really easy and fast way to send in-app payments. Competitors Toncoin for Telegram or the DM or Paxos plans for Facebook have no privacy protections at all. Seamlessly integrating a private payment option into the messaging apps of tens of millions of people is an awesome step forward for privacy, even if there are more private coins out there. We're super grateful to Signal for putting world-class privacy into the hands of so many people, and we wish them all the best in the next phase of their journey. If you want a deeper dive into the technicals of Signal, check out out our video, The Most Private Messaging Apps. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.